For me, you brought it up. Cash flow is an absolute requirement. I don't buy in markets where it's an alligator. And let's be clear, zero is an alligator in my book.
Yes.
So that takes a lot of California out for me. In fact, I wasted a year trying to find something in the Bay Area that had positive cash flow. It didn't exist in 2001. It doesn't exist in 2023. So I had to go somewhere else. Uh, that brought me to obviously Fresno, California. It's no secret. And that's where I had positive cash flow. To your point, it wasn't great. I mean, it was a couple $100, but you're right. The appreciation was pretty amazing. And again, people can go look this up. 1818 North Drive East, 93703. I bought it for 107. I sold it like 3 years later for 265, I think. California boom and bust, right? But again, I didn't sell and pay taxes. I did a 1031 exchange, moved all that equity over. The other thing that was important in my journey is I recycled capital, back to your point, right? You buy it today, you sit on it for 4 or 5 years to recycle capital. At the time, my rate came down, so my payment was the same, and I got a check. But I didn't use that check, that 20 grand to, take a cruise. I bought another property, right? So the big thing for me was when I was in building phase, it was recycling capital, redeploying, not taking any of my chips, to do something stupid with. It was to keep moving forward. But to me, cash flow number one. And then to your first point, I actually say it this way. There are lots of properties that look good in a spreadsheet, often D-class properties. Oh, I'm getting 23% cash flow. No, you're not. You have no idea how hard it's going to be to collect rent, how many turns you're going to have in a year, how many evictions. It's just like eye-opening that, people still say these things. But I think cash flow is a requirement. And that said, I know plenty of people. I actually wrote about one guy in my book, One Rental at a Time. He was an executive, and he's like, Michael, and he brought me in his office, right? I tell the story in the book, but short story is I'm in his office. He's got a whiteboard. I'm going to buy 4 properties in, I think it was Louisiana. It might've been Mississippi after Katrina. We're getting bonus depreciation. I'm going to be able to do this and this and this and this. And then I look at the bottom of his chart. They're like -200, -300, -400. I'm like, dude, you're losing $1,000 a month. What kind of plan is that? He's like, oh, you don't get it. I'm a VP. I can afford $1,000 negative. I'm like, okay. Fast forward 4 years, he lost all 4 properties. He let them go. Just let them go. No alligators ever, is my opinion.
Never. You need to have both things. You want cash flow and appreciation, but don't get too greedy on either side. Right? You just be healthy on the cash flow and be in an area that is going up in value with rents and with value.